And for those of you that don't know, in Germany, there is such things called as whorehouses. He went to a dominatrix, spent all his money. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Gallows. Today we have a special guest, a good friend of mine that I got to meet during COVID, and it turned into a great friendship. And now I am a board member in his nonprofit, Warfighter Scuba. But help me welcome Mr. Nick Powers, all the way from Honduras.
Thanks for having me, man. It's awesome to be here. Glad you're
Yeah,
finally
brother,
starting to do something cool like this.
It took a while. I think Ryan and I had talked about this, and we were like, yeah, we'll do it. And then finally he was like, hey, we're ready to go. And I was like, oh shit, like it's happening. He's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, let's do it. But yeah, we talked about it, and I was like, man, we got to do it. We got to do something different. So that's kind of what we're doing here at the Gallows. It's kind of bringing our friends, military service members, law enforcement, first responders, and kind of switching it around a little bit, right? Like just I want to hear the funny military stories, or the funny stories that some of these EMTs guys see on the road, because they got some fun. And I've heard some real messed up ones, and I'm like, yo, like this needs to get out. Even if we blur your face, like we need to listen to this. And I think a lot of people want to hear the funny military stories, right? Not just I'm a Navy SEAL. I went in and I killed Bin Laden, and now here we are. We want to hear the funny stories, and I have a ton of stories, but I felt like listening to some of my friends' stories and being shared, if they want to share the story, it'd be something cool.
Yeah, no, I love the premise, man, because the war hero stories. I think there's a fatigue. Well, at least in our community, there's obviously a fatigue. Everybody's heard the stories. We know some of the guys that live those stories. Then they're great dudes, but
yeah,
even they're tired of telling those stories, right? And when we all get together, these are the stories we talk. We don't talk about raids or anything, any of the cool guy stuff, like especially with Joey, right? Like it's always stupid shit, stupid stuff that happened in training, or on our trips, stupid shit happens, and it
does it?
It's I love the premise, man. I it's good to know like the war hero stuff that goes on, but that's like the what
a very small part of,
right?
of
the day,
of whole,
right? Yeah. The other 99%, you're sitting there with your fucking thumb up your ass, waiting for, okay, well, when are we gonna get word? What are we doing next? And
it's like I tell people, what we're like? We're like inmates, but not in jail, right? We have this whole time to come up with dumb shit and get into trouble.
Yeah. I always enjoy like getting that random when I'm scrolling on Instagram. I never do it. It's usually after one of you guys sends me something stupid, and then all of a sudden I'll see like two Marines jousting in trash cans in the barracks because there's nothing else to do, and it's like, yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah, and it's like I don't remember who I told. I think I was saying this to Kristen. I was like, I was in Colorado and I saw a lot of snow, and I was like, I remember when I was in Germany. She goes, yeah. I was like, yeah, it snowed a lot. It was like, I think it was like 3 or 4 feet of snow outside of the barracks in the back, right? And I remember just the windows in Germany open out, like a door. Not like here in the U.S. it's up and down. It opens like a door. And I remember we had opened our doors because we were like, it's kind of hot with the the heaters going on. So we opened up that window, and we're like playing poker, and all of a sudden one of the guys that was super drunk gets up, goes to the bathroom, goes out and looks out the window, and he goes, I can make that jump. And I was like, no, you can't. And next thing you know, he like sits down and he takes another shot of tequila, and he goes, watch this. And he takes off, and he just jumps out the window from the second floor, I may add. And he just flies out, and then he just lands on the snow, and we're all like, dude, he died. And then he gets up, he's like, I made it. We're like, yeah. And then everybody else went. And I'm pretty sure I dislocated my shoulder once again.
Yeah,
but
there were stories of that when typhoons were going through Okinawa. We were in
for
Hawaii.
those of you that don't know, Nick was he went to the Marine Corps. He's a Marine. because I think we didn't mention you
Simplify.
saying you're 75. Is that what you said?
Yeah, 75. Yeah.
75.
Yeah, 75. Yeah, so, I was stationed in K-Bay in Hawaii, and we worked with Okinawa Marines every once in a while, and we'd hear stupid shit, like a typhoon coming through with 100 mile an hour winds, and they would 550 cord their poncho to their wrists and to their ankles, and they would jump off like the third deck of the barracks into these winds, and it's just like,
Wow.
even in my stupidest stage, like, that's a bad idea. Why, but there's always somebody that you could be like, hey, what's really dumb, and somebody be like, okay, I'll do it. Like,
Do it, yeah. For a pack of smokes.
yeah,
Watch this. Yeah.
It was one of those things where it's like, is that real? Did that really happen? I've never seen it with my own eyes, but I've definitely seen drunk people jump off the second deck of the barracks, try to make it to a tree by the smoke pit, fail miserably,
Shit.
end up on the blotter for drunken, injury, whatever. Just, yeah, stupid stuff, man.
What was the funniest story that happened to you in the Marine Corps that you can think back? Or one of the funniest that you can...
That happened to me, or that I witnessed, or...
Both, either one.
Well, I've told you actually got the verification from Martinez during the fundraiser at dinner, where, and this, I swear to God, this happened, and and anytime you have to start a story like that, people are like, okay, bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's.
By the way, Martinez did confirm this, so
Yes,
it is a real story.
It was like I was like, when we were at dinner, I was like, oh my God, wait. Manny can verify he was there. He saw this. Hey, Manny, tell him about. I don't want to say the guy's name, but it rhymes with snot. And so we had to stage in front of the Wiki on base before we were deploying. So it's like a big parking lot. You have to put your sea bags out. They have the bomb dogs go through and all that. All the cars are parked around it, so you're with your families. We were sitting in the back of somebody's truck. I don't even remember who it was, and we see snot. I almost said it. We see snot walking up, and he's got like his Ilby pack like draped over his right shoulder. He's got a sea bag that he's kind of like dragging with his left arm, and the other sea bag he had basically just around his neck, hanging behind. And we're all watching like, what the fuck? And sure enough, he just got lower and lower, and then out cold. Choked himself out.
Set himself out with his bags.
And you've got you literally have like, I don't know, half the battalion there with their families, their kids, wives, and everybody's watching this, and not a single person went to help him because everybody was in awe. Like, there's no way that just happened. There's no way. And so he wakes up, like, kind of resituates, stands up, same setup, doesn't realize, hey, maybe I should take this off my neck. Maybe that's a problem. And chokes himself out a second time. Jesus. And everybody's just dying laughing, like, this fucking guy. And
he
so
definitely is a Marine.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So he made it through a recruiter. He made it through MEPS. He made it through boot camp. He was a radio operator, so he made it through comm school. Or he made it through, MCT, and made it through comm school, and still got to the fleet. And you can tell that we're hurting for bodies in 2003. After invading Iraq, right? But
oh, fuck it, let him in.
So I didn't know the guy that well. I just got to 3-3, and they were like, "Oh yeah, dude, that guy, just stay away, man. He's fucking lost in the sauce." And so I guess he ND'd a SAW in Afghanistan. And they were doing like a guard changeover in one of the towers, and like opened the feed tray, closed it, and sent the bolt home, and like sent 6 rounds out. So they're like, okay, man, give me your weapon, and he just burned shit that whole deployment in Afghanistan.
Wow.
And this was like 04. So I got attached with 3-3 in 05. Did all the pre-deployment build up, and then we deployed in 06. Like halfway through, not even halfway, maybe 2 months, 3 months into the deployment, he gets his weapon taken away again. And so he did 2 combat deployments and an enlistment without a weapon. and burned shit on both of them, picked up trash, and that was all he did. Never once picked up a radio, never did never left anywhere. And yeah, it's just I think like, even the first sergeants would just they didn't even know how to yell at him, because it was like,
Yeah.
how are you in front of me right now? Like, are you
100%.
real? Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. So that one's the funniest thing I've ever witnessed in my life, because typically when I tell it, people are like, no, bullshit, man, you're making this all up. Like, man, I'm really not. And there's witnesses. And it was so satisfying after how many years I've told that story to you. And then Manny was there finally. I'm like, hey, Manny, tell everybody I'm not full of shit on this one, please. And then I think the funniest thing that probably happened directly to me in the military was on deployment. And it's kind of, I mean, it's, at the time it wasn't funny. It was terrifying. But looking back at it, it was like one of those, like, I don't know, comedy movie moments. Like, we just took incoming. We had, I don't know, 7 or 8 rockets hit. So we're in all our kit. I'm on post. Sergeant Major Stables is going around and he's checking the post. And we just, like, the ground rumbles and all I hear is like, like, and I look at Sergeant Major Stables, and this dude's in his late 40s. I mean, he does this like badass combat roll, like into cover, and I'm standing on post, and I'm like, ah. Like, and I peed a little bit, man, because I was like, I don't know what's about to hit us, but this is it, we're dead, you know. And it was a F-18 that was flying like maybe 150 feet off the deck. And we found out he just got done doing a fire mission. He dropped a JDAM on a helicopter that crashed, and there was a bunch of AQI there or something. So, you know, he got some kills. I fuck those pilots, man. I guarantee you, he's like, oh, I'm going to fly over these Marines and fuck with them, right? And it was right after we took incoming. So everybody's like, you know, a little like, okay, what, you know, yeah. And yeah, I froze fucking hard, dude. And when it was done, and like Sergeant Major and I look up and we see, and Sergeant Major Stables fucking hated me, man. He hated me so much. He would take my ID card in Iraq, measure my hair to make sure I was within regs every fucking week. And he would call me a shitbag and walk away because my hair was within regs. And that was it. It was just my hair. And so we look up and we see this jet, and it's like, it's, you know, he's doing this and like spitting the chaff off, like, hey, I just killed a bunch of AQI. And then we make eye contact again, and he kind of smirks and I smirk, like, okay, this stays right here. Like, you know, because he didn't want people to know, like, he like dove and did this. It was a badass combat roll, man. I mean, for a dude that old, like, you know, I'm in my 40s now. If I tried to combat roll in full kit, I'd break like every bone.
He's probably hurting. That's what he's like, his whole body was like, oh.
Yeah, you know. So at the time, not so funny, but now, like, really fucking funny. You know, I piddled a little bit, and you know, I've got no shame in saying that. I was scared shitless when that happened.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's hilarious, bro. That's so funny. I think we all have that special person in the military, because we definitely had him in the Army as well. So for those of you listening,
of course,
for those of you listening who weren't in the military, we're not all bright as you may think. You know, like, there's some dumb ones in our midst. You know, like, there's some that you're like, how the hell did you get here? And yeah, we had one of those, dude. We had a guy named Delaney, and had a horrible stutter, like, couldn't get words out, bro. And he went through basic with me, but obviously in basic you didn't talk much, right? Like, it was, you were yelled at and you did what you were told, and that's it. And he was pretty good at listening, which a lot of these dumb people are. And he made it through basic. We ended up in Germany together. And dude, the dude was Rain Man. I swear he was Rain Man. He was a
some of the dumb ones are very smart in other areas. Yeah.
Yes, he was a grenadier, a 203 grenadier. And this guy could tell you how many meters a target was just by looking at it. He was like a walking rangefinder, bro.
Yeah.
Because we get out there and he'd be like, That's 60 meters. And we're like, Delaney, shut up. And he goes, 60 meters, dunk, hit it. They're like, yeah, that's 60 meters. Holy shit. Anyways, he got, I don't want to say picked on, but he got yelled at a lot, right? Because he was just that guy, bro. He was just that guy. And this guy leaves his fucking weapon leaning against a tire as we're all getting chow, which is a big no-no. You know, you never leave your weapon behind. And another NCO picks it up, and he's like, "Whose weapon
serial
is
number?
this?"
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, this is Delaney." So he gives it to his squad leader, and squad leader's like, "Where the fuck's your weapon, Delaney?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." So they had put it in the range way back there. He goes, "Go get your fucking weapon, Delaney." So they make him run. Long story short, you know, the NCO is like fucking on him. And out of nowhere, dude, I guess he just got fed up. He turns around, he goes, fuck you, Sergeant. And we're like, yo, what? Dude, this dude got his ass beat.
Well,
Ass beat. And then we finally get done in the field. We come back, you know, we went to I think it was Vilsec where we went to go do all our training. So we come back to the barracks, right? We're all or whatever. He gets written up, and as a part of his Article 15, he had to go to speech impediment class, right? And you know how the military works. You go when they send you somewhere, you go, you pay your way, and then they pay you back, right? And so they're like, hey, you gotta go to the train station. You're gonna get here. You're gonna go to the next town over or whatever, a few towns over, and this is where you're gonna go, you know, do speech impediment classes or whatever the case was. He went out, spent all his money, and for those of you that don't know, in Germany there is such things called as whorehouses. He went to a dominatrix, spent all his money at midnight, that day at midnight, when he got paid, he went and pulled out his money, went to go see a dominatrix.
Oh, fuck, man.
The next morning, when we're on formation, he's in formation and he shouldn't be there. And they're like, "What the fuck are you doing here, Delaney?" And they're like, "I have no money." They're like, "What?" And so they walk him to the ATM. This dude has negative $20 in his bank account, and the ATM's probably like 300-400 yards away from where we were all standing, and you can just hear, "What the fuck is wrong with you, Delaney? Where the fuck is your money? Are you fucking stupid?" And we're like, whoa. And we look over. It was our sergeant major yelling at him, bro. We're like, holy shit. Needless to say, Delaney was kicked out of the military before we even deployed. Thank God. And never saw him ever again. So we definitely have some special ones in the Army, too.
Yeah, Snot had a problem with the women of the night as well.
Oh, God. It's a common thing, I guess. Holy shit.
When there was a HBO special that came out that talked about how a lot of them had transitioned. Yeah, there's like 70% of the prostitutes in Hawaii used to be men, and so when we saw that special come out, like, go get him right now.
He needs to watch this right
And we
now.
pulled him in the room, and we're like, "Look, man, look! You know, we told you." And he, no man, like just fucking lost it, started puking. It's like, well, yeah. So I thought you weren't playing with those, you know, like you always said you weren't doing any of the glass slipper ladies in Honolulu, and sure enough, yeah, that HBO special. He couldn't lie anymore after that. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, but
shit,
it is funny because, you know, I mean, shit, and it's always in the infantry where, like,
hey.
I mean,
No,
honestly,
true.
like,
It's
you get, you talk to some of these guys, and it's like, do you know how to breathe? And they barely know how to do that. And then you look you look at their GT score or their ASVAB score, and they ace the thing, right? Like
Yeah.
they're Rain Man. But when you talk to them, it's like, how are
No
you
one's there.
still alive? Like, how have you not died 30 times just trying to cross the street because you know what I mean? Like, it's so weird. And it's
Yeah.
like, and then
He doesn't
then
look
it's-
both ways. He just
yeah,
walks.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like, this motherfucker got a higher score than me on the ASVAB. Like, then I get mad. It's like, I'm not that, I'm not a genius by any means,
Yeah.
but
But
like,
I'm not retarded either.
yeah, where's the balance here, man? Like, fucking hell.
Oh shit.
I mean, I'm glad to know that's across the board. That's
Oh,
that's with the
100%,
Army
yeah.
and Marine Corps. We can finally level that argument. Okay, we're both
100%. Oh yeah. 100%.
we both
Yeah,
got it.
100%. Oh,
I had a guy in boot camp. Ah, man, I wish I can remember his name, but he was my rack mate for a little bit, and he didn't have like a speech impediment, but he had a. He talked like this, kind of like it was. I don't know. I'm not
like
doing
an
it
Alabama
justice.
accent.
It was. I don't know what kind of accent it was, but
Little inbred there going on.
and man, drill instructor Sergeant Salon. Fuck, dude, that guy beat my ass so many times. You know me. You know my
Very
mouth.
well.
You know that I probably deserve 95% of it, but this one time, I didn't deserve anything. And we're doing the snap pop, in our underwear. This recruit has no medical or personal problems for it this time, and we've already done that. So he's walking around. We're about ready to hit the rack, and he just walks, doesn't say, doesn't look, just walking right in front of us. And this motherfucker just goes, "I dirt," like top of his fucking lungs. And I lost it, dude. I looked at him and was like, "What the fuck?" And I started laughing. And of course, he doesn't get hit. Who gets hit? Me. All I see is Sergeant Salon do the thing, and you got the brim of the hat, and I see a smirk. Like, oh, fuck. And before I know it, there's a fist in my stomach. I'm on the ground, like laughing and questioning my life at this moment of, I just got hit because this idiot just screamed for no reason, I, thur, and with his lisp, which sounded so, I, thur, like, and everybody on the other side of the squad bay is fucking rolling laughing, doing that. Oh, like, I can't move, but I'm laughing, and I'm the one that gets punched. Like, fucking hell, man. And dude, when at graduation, my dad, he went straight up to my drill instructors and he's like, I have one question, how was my son? And they all started fucking like belly laughing, and they're like, "Sir, your son was a fucking challenge." And I start cracking up. And my dad, he's like, "Seriously, you couldn't even straighten up for the Marine Corps?" I was like, "Man, I'm your kid, Dad. I don't know what to say." Like,
I'm a reflection of you.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously boot camp sucked, but I kind of enjoyed it. I needed it. It straightened me out, but at the same time, like, dude, I was a raging pothead before. I have a drug waiver in the Marine Corps. I had fuck, ASU turned me down, for God's sakes. I was born in Arizona, and ASU said no.
Nope.
If that's not a wake up call, I don't know what is. And so I quit sports halfway through high school. I wasn't in good shape or anything, so it was hard in the beginning physically, but I really enjoyed it because of the stupid shit that you experience. Like,
yeah,
100 dudes naked as the day they're born, sitting Indian style on top of each other in the classroom, and then, oh no, now we're gonna go outside and PT butt ass naked because somebody farted or something. And and you've got, I joined at 17, I went to boot camp at 18, so I'm one of the youngest kids there, and then there's like dudes in their 30s, and all of us are just in this clusterfuck together, looking at each other like, what, fuck, dude, in high school, I never got naked in gym class. Like, dude, I showered with shorts on. I was such a, what do you call it? A prude or whatever, and then like day 3 in boot camp, it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm in a shower with 20 dudes with one shower head.
Mhm.
I guess I'm okay with being naked around other men now, because you've got stuff everywhere trying to wash off and then showering by the numbers. That was funny sometimes. Fuck, dude. One time, oh my god, this is like borderline bad. The kid got kicked out, and he needed to get kicked out. He got us hazed so much because he couldn't do anything right. He was too afraid to ask to go to the bathroom. We all at first like felt bad for him, but then it got to the point where it's like, dude, just fucking go. Tell them you want to leave, because you can do that for anybody watching.
Yeah.
You can say, I give up.
Yeah.
You can quit. It's not like once you sign, there's no quit. They'll do everything they can to make you not quit. But
Yeah.
this kid needed to quit. And so we're coming out of showers one day, and again, there's a drill instructor. He's holding a thing of like Gain laundry detergent. And this kid, I'm not going to say his name because it is, I feel bad for him, but I'm glad he didn't make it, because there's no way he would have done well in the fleet. He would have been beaten up daily. But he's sitting there holding his canteen. And what he was doing is he was pissing in his canteen instead of asking to use the head, right? Because you had to do it a specific way in the Marine Corps. Like, recruit powers, request permission to speak to Joe Stark, Sergeant so-and-so. What do you want, you piece of shit? This recruit requests permission to make a head call, sir. And if you don't say it that way, no, go fuck yourself. Try again, And
Yeah.
and then you get nervous at that point because it's like, oh shit, what did I mess up? And then you screw it up more and more and more. And it's just a way to fuck with you mentally. But this kid was just too scared. So he's crying, we're all walking out, and the drill instructor's like, I want all you motherfuckers to watch this. This nasty piece of shit, he's too afraid to ask to use the head. This is the one time I'll let you motherfuckers laugh. And we're all like, okay, well, this isn't really that funny. And then, he's like, shower, bitch. And he starts pouring the laundry detergent over his head. And so the kid dumps his piss bottle out, and he just starts showering in his own piss and laundry detergent. And it was one of those moments where it was like, it was so awkward. It was funny because we didn't know, like, if we didn't laugh, are we going to get fucked up because he told us he wants us to laugh? You know what I mean? So it was like that awkward. We're all looking at each other like, like, is he going to go home? Like, can you make him go home? He shouldn't be here. Like, he
Somebody
needs.
call his mom.
Yeah, he's going to need therapy after this significantly.
Oh,
and
shit.
Dude, I mean, that was wild. Again, like, freshly 18, never been in any, and that, like, boot camp's wild, man. It's fucking wild.
Oh, 100%.
The movie Jarhead, you've seen that movie with Jake
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal? Yeah.
Yep.
So that came out when I was in on active duty in the fleet, and I remember
when did that movie come out?
like 05, 04, somewhere around there.
Oh, okay.
Because I was in Hawaii at the time, and like every command, we had like a safety stand down, and they said, do not go see this movie. Because it was such a stain on the Marine Corps because it told the truth, right?
Oh.
And so obviously when it all, don't see them. Okay, well, I'm going to go see the
movie, yeah.
11 o'clock showing tonight. Like, and so like every movie theater was just full of Marines who got told, don't watch this movie. And like the boot camp part in that was so fucking accurate. It was so, they did it perfect, right? And we're all yelling like, yeah, I've been there, And then I hadn't deployed yet at the time. And then when it got to like the deployment time, when he's setting up, trying to take the shot, and the command comes in, nope, don't take it out. And then the jet goes in and drops the JDAM, whatever. And he's talking about like the deployment cycle of like, okay, 0530, wake up, chow, PT, masturbate. PT again, masturbate again. Like, okay, that can't be that true.
You're like, when did they talk? When did they talk to me?
Then I get deployed to Iraq, dude. You go outside to take a shit in one of the porta johns or whatever, and there's a line of like 40 dudes holding their laptops, and all you see in the porta johns and the vents, it's like lights, right? Everybody's in there just cranking away, watching porn. it's like, fuck, I really have to take a shit. Like, can I jump the line? No, man, you gotta wait your turn. It sucks, man. Yeah.
Oh
But
shit,
that
that's
movie,
so funny.
dude, that movie was like so dead ass accurate, and
I'm gonna have to watch it again.
the Marine
I'm gonna have
Corps
to
was
watch it again.
so pissed about it, man. You know, you read about like these guys. What is it, Matt Bissonnette, that finally came out, right? And how the Navy's like suing him for
telling the truth.
Yeah, telling the truth,
Yeah.
really, but he never said anything that wasn't classified. You know, all this crap, but he's like sued to smithereens, and then you got fucking Dan Crenshaw coming out, and he's writing a book, and now he's not going to get sued, even though he didn't do the same thing that Matt didn't do, and so I can only imagine how angry the Marine Corps was and how they were trying to sue this guy or whatever they can, because to me, I think it was a great recruitment tool, right? Like if you're gonna show somebody
what it's like,
show them the truth.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I still think it's a great movie, right? You know, and I was in the Marine Corps. Like, it wouldn't have changed me and to say, oh, maybe
I don't want to go
join it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Like, oh, okay, cool. So that it's not all the war hero stories, right? That like, oh, you're gonna go to combat, it's gonna be fucking awesome, and oh yeah, okay, maybe. You know, you might get shot at. I mean, some units had way more combat time than others, right? You know, special operations units, their op tempo was through the roof. They were doing raids every night, like. But line companies, dude, we had some companies, some platoons that would go out, maybe got shot at like 3 or 4 times, and then other platoons would go out, and it was like a 3-hour firefight every day. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, there's no rhyme or reason to it, And then those guys are like, oh my god, okay, I'm burned out. I can't do another firefight. Like I just want to break. And then the other guys are itching for it. Like, well, okay, let's swap places. And then if they could swap places, it'd probably be the same shit. Then that platoon would get contact, and what the fuck, why can't I ever take contact?
Why can I have fun?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit. So after the Marine Corps, once you were out of the Marine Corps, how did Warfighter Scuba go about? What made you started, and how did you get
fucking
that
hot
going?
Mess. Hot mess is how that started, man. That was my free fall into depression and alcoholism and just being a fucking idiot that somehow led me to Roatan in 2016 and getting back into scuba.
You scuba before, right?
Yeah,
like
I was certified
up,
at 12 years old. One of the best memories that I have with my father. I mean, he's still alive, but he can't dive anymore. He has seizures. So he gave me all of his dive gear. But one of the best memories I have was getting certified at 12 years old, doing open water with him. But being stationed in Hawaii, you would think, oh, he's probably diving off. Nope. Didn't do one single dive. I had all my kit in my wall locker. If we weren't training, I was getting shit-faced. I was not doing anything productive with my time. So if I had a time machine, I would definitely go back. I would kick myself in the ass. Hey, man, go dive, especially knowing now what I know now.
Yeah.
So, diving, it saved my life. I tried to commit suicide numerous times. I'm not good at it, thankfully. And scuba saved my life. It gave me purpose. Well, I mean, you joined the board, right? I mean, you see what it does in a organic way that it's not forced, right? It's not like you have to go to like a forced cry session or you got to tell me about all your traumas from combat. Like all of that just happens on our trips, organically in conversations like this. It goes from having fun, laughing about, memories of friends of ours that were killed in combat to the shitty moments, and then it gets somber, and then everybody, but it's all I don't know, it's done in a different way, and I think that's what sets us apart from most other PTSD therapies. Like it's a healthy conversation that takes place in between dives that resets your brain, allows you to be in the present moment for once. You don't have all the traumas following you. You don't have the nightmares going through you. You don't have the anger, the the anxiety, you don't have any of it, right? You're just at peace. And then in between dives, you're at peace with the other vets who are at peace. And then those conversations can happen in a very productive way. So,
Yep.
I went from like hot mess to I'm going to start a nonprofit. What the hell am I doing? Like, I've never done anything like this. And it was the only time that some of my buddies, or most of my buddies really, that they were like, Nick, you need to do this. Like, this is, don't give up on this. This
Yeah.
has potential. So, that was 2016, and here we are in 2025. You and I met during COVID playing fucking stupid ass Call of Duty, and I was your IT guy for a little bit. And to be fair to you, I was, hey man, come down. Come down. You're like,
Yeah.
nah, I don't want to take somebody's spot. If I come, I'm gonna pay my way. And you came after what, 2 years? Me
Yeah, 2
pestering you
years.
finally.
Yep. Yep.
I think we met in person once before that. I
Once,
think
yeah.
I did
Yeah, you came to the house.
yeah.
Yeah.
And and that was great. You joined a trip, and we had a great time and got you back in the water because you did that with BAMC, and it was,
Yeah.
I know you had the same issue of like you loved it, but where's the continuity to it? I want to keep doing it, but there's no groups. And now there's quite a few dive groups, and Warfighter Scuba is growing significantly. You've been a huge part of that, bringing you on the board, and your passion to help. And
We're not talking about me right now. We're talking about
organization has helped. But I mean, honestly, man, I mean, you brought significant value to the veterans in our organization. So,
well, I mean, I think it's an easy thing, right? Like, I mean, we've had conversations. Like, I don't really get involved with a lot of nonprofits, and when I do it for a reason, and because I stand behind what they're doing, and I see what's happened, and the changes and the things that they're doing within the community. So, yeah, it was a no-brainer. I mean, just going down there with you, and that's kind of why I did that, right? Like, when I told you I'm coming, but I'm paying my own way. Like, I don't want to take a spot. Like, I'm paying my own way, and then I'll tell you what I think, because I wanted to go into this earnest. I didn't want for your foundation to have paid my way, and then I got to feel a certain way or say a certain thing, because that's happened to me before.
Yep.
But man, just going down there and experiencing it, and I think the one thing that stood out to me the most was, hey, when you come down here, you can bring your spouse, you can bring your kid, or somebody that is in your life, like a family member, to come through the program with you. And I get invited to a lot of things, and this just because of the exposure that I have on social media. I get invited to a lot of things, but the one thing that they never say is bring your wife.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got a great wife, man.
I do. I love my wife. Yeah. And so, like, it's just one of those things that you kind of think about it. You're like, man, like, I wish I could bring my spouse to this. Like, that'd be fucking cool. And that's what I liked about Warfighter Scuba, was that you can bring your spouse, and I feel like it makes your relationship stronger. Or if you're kind of in the fence or in the hot water with your spouse, I feel like what you go through to get scuba certified, it makes your bond a little stronger, because you have to communicate with your spouse. There's a lot of hand signals that go on, and you got to have your full trust in them when you're underwater, because just like the military, you have a battle buddy, or whatever you guys call the shipmates or whatever. And you got to rely on them. You know what I mean? Like, and so like
fucking shipmates, this asshole. Wow. Okay.
Just saying. And so, so it's pretty cool. And so, and then, I mean, dude, scuba diving is awesome, man. Like, I love it just for the simple fact that, like, underwater, everything's quiet. You're only thinking about one thing, and you're weightless. And that's my favorite thing. Like, I'm in pain every day. I just don't show it or either bitch about it, because nothing that anybody says or gives me is going to change it. But underwater, I feel a lot better. So, yeah, it's awesome. I love scuba diving. I love helping and showing this to other vets to help them out as well. So.
Yeah, and Kristen, she's a scuba monster, man. I mean, she fell in love with it, and it's awesome. That's my favorite part, is when spouses or kids come, because again, one of my favorite memories is being a kid and learning that with my dad, and now here I am 20-30 years later. But fuck, hell, 30 years later, good lord. now being the instructor, right? Of like, I'm the guy that I was looking up to with my dad for guidance on what we're about to do, because it's not
Yeah.
normal. And having those moments with some of the vets with their kids and with their spouses, and the kids are great in the water, and they get something out of it with their parent that nobody can ever take that away, right? And then the spouse gets that same thing, but they're also involved in those same conversations I was talking about earlier, where I've talked to a lot of wives and husbands that have come up to me at the end of the week and said, "Hey, man, thank you." Like what you said, my spouse gets invited to all these things because they have a Purple Heart, and I'm never invited, and this is the first time I've seen them in a vulnerable position like this, and I've heard these stories about what they went through,
Yeah.
but they had a smile on their face when they were talking about it, like, and that's what drives me, right? Um, is building a positive skill set of communication that we're all fucking terrible at. I'm terrible at it with my wife.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I know you're terrible at it with Kristen. But
100%.
when we're on these trips, we're not terrible at it anymore. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just, it's like a, I don't know. It just, everything changes, right?
Yeah.
You're in such a great mental state that you have that ability to communicate things where, if I was trying to communicate any kind of traumas I had on a normal day, I'd be angry, I'd be irritable, I wouldn't want to talk about it, which then would
Yeah.
come off to my spouse as, okay, Nick's being aggressive right now. I don't want to, or they get defensive, and then an argument ensues, and so having this median to disable that, to have the good conversations, is really where I think, that's why we changed our mission statement, right? It's not just to prevent suicide, it's to prevent suicide and to try and mitigate divorce, right? We're trying
Yeah.
to build that
100%.
family unit up. And
And I think most of the vets that come when we go scuba diving, they're so vulnerable because when you get done on your first dive, and for those of you that have never dove before and don't understand, you're tired when you're done. Like, you're
fucking
freaking
exhausted.
tired,
Yeah.
exhausted. So I feel like it's that that allows you to have that moment of your guard is down, you're tired, and you start opening up without having that guard up.
No.
You know what I mean? When you're rested or you haven't done anything like this, yeah, you have your guard up, you're very standoffish, and you can try to fight or not open up. But when you're done scuba diving, at the end of the day, you're so fucking tired that your guard's down. You just open up and you let it out and you start communicating. You're like, oh fuck, well, that was easy.
Yep.
Wow, she understood me. Okay, she gets it. Okay, and then it just opens that door, and then it goes right because I feel like us men sometimes are just fucking hard head motherfuckers, and so yeah.
Yeah, but it snowballs. I mean, so once one vet shows it, then everybody else is like, oh, okay, I can drop the wall, right? Like, the first one to do it. Normally it's one of us, right? It's me,
Yeah.
or it's Joe, or it's Adam. It's the instructor who's guiding the conversations, right? With stupid shit that we've had to deal with, or whatever. And sometimes you get some veterans that like Kevin just sent in the group chat, the vet that went through the program up in Thunder Bay, who just bought his dream boat. That he didn't shave his beard or cut his hair for years because he didn't want anybody touching him. And, now he's clean cut, it's completely changed his life. He's, all it takes is that one moment, right?
Yeah.
That one moment of clarity that we try to fight for so hard to find. And unfortunately, most of us search in the bottom of a bottle, whether it's alcohol, pills, a syringe, it's but scuba gives you that, like the moment, even not everybody. I mean, anxious people do have a problem with scuba, but if they can conquer that, it is such a building block for confidence and to remove anxiety from their life that there's just so many good side effects of our programs. And like, with the stem cells, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Joe Deturi, the retired lieutenant commander in the Navy, when Ethan and I dove down. I think you got super sick. You had an infection.
Yeah.
You couldn't make
Yeah.
that
Before I
trip.
was supposed to fill out. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we dove down and we did that interview with him when he was living in Jules Undersea Lodge for 100 days. And at the end of that, he came out a year younger than when he went in, like
Yeah.
biologically. Just 100 days, he de-aged an entire year because of how our bodies process breathing oxygen and nitrogen and outgassing the nitrogen at depth. Well, he asked me in that interview, he's like, "Well, you're a scuba instructor. Why do you feel good at the end of a week, at the end of a dive week, or a trip diving?" Uh, because you had fun diving all week, like.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, man. Like you've effectively doubled your stem cell count naturally by breathing at 2 atmospheres, so at 33 feet of pressure." What? That for real? And he's like, "Yes, we're finally starting to do more research on it, but this is what hyperbaric treatment's been for decades, right? This is what celebrities pay tens of thousands of dollars to go sit in a hyperbaric chamber to de-age for beauty purposes, right? And they're just stem cell regeneration naturally. So most of the scuba community, they have no freaking clue that that's a side effect of just going and diving. So if you're looking at TBI, you with burns, a lot of times with the groups, people mention, "Hey, I haven't had a migraine. This is the first time I'm having a migraine in a week, and I can't even remember." The sleep that you get because of breathing pressurized gas, you get tired, right? Your body constantly trying to maintain core temperature. You get tired, and you sleep good, and you're regenerating stem cells, so you're healing the body from the inside out, on top of doing all the mental therapies of communicating with your spouse or your kids, your family, or other veterans, and dealing with traumas. Like it's literally the whole shebang, right?
Yeah.
And scuba's not a cheap sport by any means, but it's way cheaper than going into a hyperbaric chamber. That's for damn sure.
Yep.
So and these are all things, man, that I found out years after starting Warfighter Scuba, right? I knew it saved my life, and I didn't know why.
Why? Yeah.
And I still, to this day, almost 10 years later, 2026 is going to be 10 fucking years, which is just crazy to think about. I still learn something every trip, man. Every vet teaches me something different. You talk to Joe or Adam or hell, Rich. He's down here right now, and he's working at the shop. And he started his first open water. They're not vets, but he's learning how to teach now. And you should see his face, man. He's just so fucking happy. And he's like, I missed this from the military. I loved instructing. And, now I've got this back, and I can't wait to do the first warfighter trip and do it with vets and help help them the way that you guys have helped me. And, and that's all it is, man. It's like what you said, you have been very selective. You've seen the good, you've seen the bad, right? And unfortunately, there's a lot of bad in our community. There's a lot of bad nonprofits, good old boys clubs. They're drunks. It's a drama fest, whatever the case may be. They abuse funding, and we're trying to break that stigma, and we are always trying to give back, right? You've told countless friends of yours, like, "Hey, you guys need to come," and this is before you're even on the board, right? You go talk to Warfighter Scuba. It'll help you out. Buddies that you've known from BAMC. The one that I went and taught in Florida was Alex Nickel.
We served together.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. So that you served together. Yeah. But in a small world story with me, like, my buddy Justin Boswood or RJ Mitchell, that they were with 3-1 in the Hell House battle. And I get a phone call from Justin. He's like, "Hey, one of my boys is coming on your trip." It's like, "Oh, really?" Like, I didn't know. And then, the whole week with Alex, we were just talking, and we were talking shit about Justin the whole time. It was funny. But he same thing. He, at Walter Reed, they did scuba, but there was no continuity afterwards, and he loved it. I think he did one trip to like Bonaire or something, but then he had nobody to go with. So now he's all about it again. I think right leg amputee below the knee. They had to amputate his leg from all the bullet wounds. Like his leg
Oh
got
shit.
shot so many times it destroyed the
Yeah.
bone. And a really fun guy that week, right? I mean, we had a blast. So it's we still have like 300 people on a wait list, which to me it that's my biggest, most infuriating button is, we keep trying to do as much as we can, and we do, but people are starting to apply, which is great, but it's like I don't want there to be a wait list, right? I want to help everybody. And I think 2026 is going to be good. We've made some great partnerships. You've got some great ones for us right at the end, and if we can grow those in 2026, and with all the active duty stuff that's coming down the pipeline with SSI and everything, I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to change with Warfighter that we're going to help a lot of people. And getting this started on the active duty side now, I'm so fucking pumped for it, because now we can start building all of this before the trauma, right? Like, if we can start implementing this into BUDS, into the Key West Dive School, into Panama City, to all the training pipelines, to say like, look guys, you're gonna do this for a job, but here's what you need to know about how it's good for you physically, mentally. Don't avoid it when you're in the fleet. Go for a fun dive every once in a while and just de-stress, decompress the stress.
Go be a dive master. Go be an instructor. Exactly. You can use this when you get out of here. So you could go be an instructor somewhere and make money. 100%.
So I just submitted the Skill Bridge training program outline for SSI.
Nice.
What day does it say? Thursday. I did on Monday. Yeah. So nice. That we should have that approval soon, and then that way we've got the GI Bill approval and everything, and we can start working to get in the transition period during TAPS and all that stuff, terminal leave. We can start building instructors, dive masters, and
huge
job placing. Man, if I knew about this, getting out at 23, 24, how cool that would be to be a scuba instructor at 23 and just travel the world. And, fuck, man. There's a whole lot of potential, a whole lot of things changing, which again, it's just crazy to think that 10 years has gone wrong. And we have plenty of the funny stories from pretty much every trip over those
Speaking
10
of
years.
Funny stories, you want to tell the one with Mr. John Simons?
You were in that fucking podcast and he wouldn't let that go on Warfighter Tobacco, you son of a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Oh, God, no. I'm never going to let that one go.
Yeah, I'm glad he didn't have his GoPro that day. I was smart in not having a camera that day. But yeah,
I wish he had his freaking camera that day.
No, that would
Let's just say, when you got to go in the ocean, you got to go.
And anybody,
and Mr. Nick didn't need to go number one.
Yeah. Well, when do I ever need to go number one? I always got to go number two. If you know me, you know my guts are fucking rotten. I installed a bidet in Omar's guest bathroom just for me.
And he did.
And I'm probably going to install it in the rest of his bathrooms as well. And while I was installing that bidet, his wife walked by, and I thought she was going to murder me because I had to go while I was installing that, and there were possibly some farts that fell out. That do you remember when she screamed? What the fuck, Nick?
What's wrong with you? Yeah,
So anyway, that happened on a dive, right? It's happened on a handful of dives, but this dive was not a good one to happen on because it was one-on-one. It was John's a new instructor for us as well. Absolutely phenomenal guy. He's become one of my very, very close friends.
I love John.
And so he's doing his dive master at this point with me, and we get to the skills evaluations where I need him to demo to me that he can do it at a professional level. So I've got my scorecard out. We're in 15 feet of water. It's crystal clear. It's row 10. See 100 some odd feet, right?
Uh-huh.
I've got this coral head behind me. And I'm okay, take the mask off. All right, reg out. Okay. Oh shit, I gotta take it down. 1 minute. And he's like, "What do you mean? What does this mean?" I'm like, "1 minute." And I just kind of scoot over and I pull my board shorts down and I let it rip. And I'm looking like, "Oh, hey, look at that," And I look at John, and he's hunched over, crying. His mask has flooded. He's laughing so hard. Like, it's not that funny, man. I mean, everybody poops. There's a book about it. Like, come on. What are you, 5? Like, and he points up, and I turn and look up, and like, I've never seen a cloud that big of. So like the 3 little pieces that were solid, there was a lot more unsolid above. And so I start laughing like, "Oh my God, that's disgusting," right? And then all the fish start coming and they start eating it because that's what they do because they're fish. Yeah. So it's natural. I didn't kill anything. And then I look back over at John, and right above him, there's 2 snorkelers just beelining at us. And I'm sitting there trying to pull my board shorts up, like, "We gotta go, John. We gotta go right now." So we swim out, and John got a front row viewing to a grown man defecating in the open ocean, and it had to be me. So it was a very large amount of and not clean, because you've known me how many years now. Like, I'm broken, and yet somehow, some way, the VA still says I don't have IBS. Okie dokie. Maybe if I had that video, that would actually maybe be like, "Oh, this guy's fucked, man. Yeah, he's got approved problems." Yeah. So yeah, that was definitely one of those funny moments, right? Of like, that was like definitely not on the professional level. Your instructor should not be doing that in front of you as a candidate. But again, it's John. He's my buddy. Yeah. Again, going back to the military, we've all seen each other naked. It's no big deal. He can watch me real quick. Yeah. We'll get through this. No. So I don't.
So the what?
Go ahead. I was gonna say I don't do that in normal. It's not like, "Hey, you come to Warfighter, you can watch Nick take a shit."
Watch Nick. It's part of it's actually in the fine print when you apply.
It's in the contract now, yeah.
It is. So that's what I was going to say. If you're a Purple Heart recipient or a Gold Star family member and you want to check out Warfighter Scuba and apply to our program, it's on the website. It's warfighterscuba.org. And if you're watching this and you want to contribute to our mission and what we're doing and how we're supporting wounded veterans, where can they donate, Mr. Nick Powers?
warfighterscuba.org /donate. We're on Zelle, PayPal. You can find us on GuideStar. Pretty much every nonprofit evaluation site we're on. So yeah, it's you mail checks any way that you want to fund, we can do it. If you want to donate gear to vets, if you have scuba gear, if you're one of those unfortunate people who can't dive anymore, and you want to know that your gear goes to somebody that's going to use it, we take donations in gear to give those to our certified veterans as well. Pretty much any way possible. We do fundraisers, we do clay shoots. We're looking to do some other new stuff. We've got the Lionfish tournament in Florida every year with Zookeeper, so you can come and dive with us, participate that way and fund that way and have a lot of fun. Obviously, if you're watching this, you know who Omar is, so you know what he does. And he brings a lot of great guns to all the fundraisers for silent auctions. So if you want to, win a very nice firearm from one of his sponsors that they generously donate, that's an opportunity. And sometimes you get lucky enough, you get a custom build from Omar. And, he hasn't built one wrong yet. So, you can get a custom crispy.
Still go boom.
Yeah, you can get a custom crispy AR, or that's usually you usually do ARs. Yeah.
Yeah. My bread and butter,
Yeah, I mean however we can fund, that's we'll we'll make it work. And
100%.
we're
And
constantly.
another thing that I
Yep.
think we should mention is, none of us get paid to be on
Yeah.
the board or anything. Every single penny that you donate goes right back out to the vets. And I think that's very important for us to say.
And I haven't been as much of a proponent of this as I'm going to start being now, especially after John mentioned it. He's 100% behind us now. I've never been pushy. You know me. I
100%.
If
You've been pushing about diving, yes, but not push,
not like, oh, our nonprofit's the best. You got to only give to, I'm never going to be like that. But I think we need to start being a proponent of educating donors. Go to irs.gov and search for the 990s of the organizations that you're donating to, because it's all public information. You can see their annual reporting, and you can see where that money's going. And there's a block for salaries. There's a block for other expenses for like contract work or consulting is what they like to put as well.
Yeah.
And when you start to see some of these other organizations similar to ours and 3/4 of their funding is to that pisses me off. And if it gets to the point where we get enough money and we're running enough veterans through that I can quit my normal job and take a salary, of course that will be an option, but it would never be anything outside of a livable wage. And that's a guarantee that I can make for Warfighter 100%. Is my board's never gonna ever try to vote like, oh, we should pay ourselves. The instructors never ever are gonna say, oh, I need X amount, I need to get paid for this. Yeah. Everybody is in the same mentality of what Omar said is we do this because we want to help. We've all been in the shitty fucking darkness alone. We've watched our friends die. We've gone through those nightmares, the tremors, the drinking, the drugs, the trying to numb it, the everything. We've all been there, and that's why we won't go back or go into fuck it, I'll say it, a corrupt route of funding or lining our own pockets using wounded veterans. Congressman. Yeah. You know what I told him. Actually, that was when I met you the first time. We left that event. I told Crenshaw to basically kiss my ass. And I'm so happy. If Sean Ryan ever watches this, dude, I fucking love you. Thank you. Like, continue to push this. Don't let him shit on you. And this bullying needs to stop, because that dude sat through an entire presentation about our organization. And at the end, he came up to me and shook my hand. He said, oh, I'd love to come dive. Hey, man, you're more than welcome to join any of our trips. That I think the vets would like it, right? Having a wounded congressman who back then wasn't known for all the stuff he's really known for now. I had my radar was pinging a little bit, but looked me dead ass in the eyes. And so another thing that we haven't said yet is we do have a contract that vets have to sign. And there's a no alcohol and no drug use, zero tolerance policy. We don't allow any alcohol or drug use on any of our trips, period. So they're sober trips. And this dude walks up to me and said, well, okay, if I'm coming, there's only one rule that's got to change. And I was like, what's that? He's like, well, if I'm coming, I'm drinking. And I looked at him dead ass in the eyes and I said, well, I guess you're not fucking coming. And all my board standing to my left and right, like, they were like, what the fuck did Nick just say? Like, they knew how I felt about him.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm not going to hold a grudge. I'm always going to let somebody try to redeem themselves.
Yeah.
But at that fucking moment, that dude sealed his fate with me. Like, you literally sat here and listened to my entire presentation. You listened to how many vets we've helped. You listened to what we do. And you're going to tell me that we're going to change our rule just for you so you can fucking drink? Go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah.
And my board wasn't too happy with me. But at the end of the day, they were like, actually, no, you stood your ground, and that's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
So, but that was the night. After that, I drove we drove from Houston all the way up to Wimberley.
Yep.
And that's when we met. You know, we came to your house super fucking late. Oh, dude, that was such a mess. That was such a mess.
It was.
But yeah, that I hope that guy's not in Congress much longer. He still follows my wife on Instagram and invites her to all of his parties and shit. It's really, dude's a turd, man. And I don't think this isn't Warfighter Scuba saying this. This is me as a person saying this, by the way. So don't try and play that game with me either. That the nonprofit's trying to say political shit, because I know about that law and that's not what's happening here. So but yeah, anyway, that shit sets me off. But I texted a buddy of mine and I was like, hey man, next time you talk to Sean, give him a high five for me, please.
Yeah.
And you know who I probably texted, right? Like,
oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So it was like, this, you know, the SEAL dramas, fuck, dude, it's so ridiculous, but this needs to happen. Like this, this holding integrity needs to happen, man. And dude, fucking Sean Ryan's awesome.
He is.
Oh God, I hope they go to Discovery. Oh my God,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because it would finally be, you know, congressmen being held accountable. You know, if we can't insider trade, why the hell is it okay for any of them?
For you? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Sorry, that was a total like fucking derailment. Yeah.
I love it. No, you're good, bro. You're good. I definitely love it. No, I mean, that's how we feel, I guess. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, for those of you, again, that want to contribute to the nonprofit, you want to help us out because you know that your money goes straight to the veterans and veterans only and their family members and spouses that we bring out to the event. You can go to warfighterscuba.org/donate. And we got some cool gear on there as well. If you want a t-shirt, you can support us that way as well. You can buy a t-shirt. We got hats.
I got to update that.
Damn, I wish I knew an IT guy.
Yeah, I gotta add the new SEAL shirt and everything that we've got onto the website. Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nick Powers has some work to do tonight. So, with that being said, Nick, thank you so much, brother, for joining us. Thank you for the stories. That was awesome, bro. I'm glad I got to catch up with you. I know I've been traveling and I haven't called or caught up with you because I've just been busy,
here, man.
But
you're breaking my heart. I miss my Omar time.
I'm around this whole month, so I'll call you. I'll eventually call you. But thanks so much for joining us, bro. I appreciate you. I hope
thanks for having me,
soon, and I hope we get to diving soon. But you know, maybe in a year.
We got some stuff coming up that it's gonna be a little bit, but
and everybody will find out. But until then, I'm gonna have to be on a break from scuba diving in a good way, in a very good way. But so thanks, brother. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much for what you're doing for the community. And man, I'm super honored and grateful to be part of Warfighter Scuba. And I'll be a board member as long as you have me.
All right, that's on camera. You can't come back from that one now. You can't do that. No, I quit. No.
Hey, Luke, delete that.
No, Luke, that stays in 100%. But thanks for having me, dude. I appreciate it, man. I think this new venture is. I really think it's going to take off. I think the positive spin on stories is good. I mean, it's healthy. You gotta have this kind of talk, man. And this, 100%. I think civilians will really enjoy these talks more than the war stories because this is real. You know, it's there's no Hollywood spin here.
No, not at all.
And it's normal people shit, right? Like I love it. So great work, man.
I appreciate you. All right, brother. Thanks for being on. We'll see you on the next one.
All right, yes, sir. Thank you.